Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria 3, where last episode we decided to throw caution to the wind a bit and attack the Sikh Empire. Now, the Sikh Empire themselves are not dangerous. What would be dangerous here is if Great Britain decides to intervene. I'm not 100% certain they will, and I'm not 100% certain they won't either. However, I will note that if they do intervene, they're at 12,398, and we're at 13,389. So we have actually passed Great Britain at this point. So that is absolutely wonderful. We are running a deficit right now, and I'm not going to mobilize our forces just yet, not until we end up going into the diplomatic maneuvers phase. So that's going to be the idea here. And how much do we need to build before we get back to working on barracks? Okay, noted. So that's reasonably fine for the time being. We're probably going to need to build things like artillery foundries, small arms foundries, munitions foundries, once we start mobilizing here. Labor movement has been unlocked. Okay, that gives us some interesting law changes, potentially. Do we want to change any of these? Regulatory bodies would be really good. Restricted child labor would probably be ideal because that gives us education institution investment. Nobody really hates it. Do it. Let's get going on that. That'll be absolutely fine. So that looks good. We're now in diplomatic maneuvers. So I'm going to mobilize these guys, and we're going to send them to this front up over here. There we go. And I'm also going to mobilize these guys. These are our smaller armies at this point. So that'll be fine. Of course, this will be expensive to mobilize. We know this, we're going to run a deficit, but we've got lots of gold reserves built up right now. So that'll be absolutely fine. The skyscraper survey has now been completed, and we have identified a site for the skyscraper. And that's absolutely fine. This will be in Moscow, and that gives us plus 10% construction sector building throughput permanently. So that's great. We can absolutely do that, and we can get started on that skyscraper, which we will do. Excellent. So we're losing about 100k a week right now. That's not so bad. 120k a week now. We're still mobilizing up, and I want to take a look. What do we have going on here? Engines and glass. Okay, fair enough. We're working on engines for sure. An electricity shortage in Ingria and Yukon. Now, if I recall correctly, the one in Yukon is simply needing employees, and yes, that is correct. In Ingria, what's going on here? This needs to be expanded, but it is expanding in the private constructions. So that seems fine. I do think building a few glassworks here would probably be a good idea. Looks like this will be in Ingria, and I'm going to toss in 5 of them. There we go. So we'll get those going. We're working on motor industries. Our skyscraper will take a while, but we'll get these glassworks, these motor industries dealt with, and we're under a year away from completion of our construction queue, so that seems absolutely fantastic. Now, nobody has joined here, and that's a really good sign. The Gentry Assembly is requesting reimbursement. This is probably a no. We do not reward negligence. The gentry are going to get more radical from that, but honestly, there's not that many gentry. They're just powerful. So that'll be fine. I think we'll be okay on that front. We are going to have an election coming through soon, and we'll see what ends up happening. Our success chance on restricted child labor is only 5% right now. This might go up or it might go down. We'll see. Either way, I want to do restricted child labor. We have 0% chance of stall right now, so that sounds good. Everybody's declaring neutrality in this, including Britain. They no longer can join this. So it looks like our on-paper strength, which theirs has jumped, 14,878. So they're now back to being stronger than us again. Okay, fair enough. But they're not going to get involved in this war, so that seems absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever there. Now, I do want to check in. We have a new army here. And the mobilization here is probably not the same as every other mobilization. Correct. We need to do some of this. Reduces our organization, but that's fine. We have a little bit of time before the outbreak of war, and that's okay. This will, of course, be more expensive. I want to be clear about that, but that's fine. Great Britain has declared neutrality. All looks good on that front. So we're going to be continuing to work through these glassworks and motor industries. I don't expect engines to remain expensive for all that long. And we're just looking to make the Sikh Empire our protectorate. So at this point, we'll need to push in here. And it should be a fairly simple thing to do. We're only at 39 balance here and 12 here. We'll see how that goes. Our law debate has failed. That's not great. And there's a tumultuous campaign happening here. Some rest and recuperation will be best, I'm sure. Okay, so now we're going to see how this ends up going. We have no active battle here right now. And are these guys... Hang on. We don't have leadership here. That would help. I'm going to put this guy in here, and we're going to promote him. And we're going to need to promote him again. There we go. Now we can actually get some progress there. We have no leadership here either. And again, we should do something about that. I should have checked this before the war broke out, to be clear. There we go. So that'll be fine for now. We're going to start actually making some progress here. They are attacking us, which is fine. And a complete rewrite of the bill. Ooh, a setback here. But that does bring us back to 5%. I think that just offsets the debate failure that we had previously. So, yeah, that's okay. They're actually pushing us here. That is remarkable. 40 offense to 45 defense. Oh, wait, we're attacking them. Never mind. I thought they were attacking us. No, this is fine. We don't mind losing an attack out over here. It would have been bad if we were defending this, but no, we're attacking. So this is okay. This is absolutely fine. And we can see this is up to like 68 at this point now. Yeah, we're doing absolutely okay. There's a battle here where Kalat is defending, and they're winning. So yeah, this is fine. We've got the Sikh Empire under control. No problem whatsoever there. So those glassworks are done. We do have some electricity shortages, specifically in Kuban. Let's take a look at what we've got going on there. We definitely need at least one power plant in Kuban. I'm going to get that queued up, and that'll be okay. So 52 weeks right now on our construction queue, although we know that 51 weeks is how long it's going to take our skyscraper. We might as well put that right up at the top here. That'll be fine. And we're working on a bunch of motor industries in the back line as well, so that's absolutely fine. The Sikh Empire, of course, is really starting to crumble here. We're at 82 on this front and 20 on this front. Yeah, we're succeeding this attack. So that looks good. It'll get a bit harder once we push into these mountains, but I'm not... Actually, we are kind of already pushed into the mountains. I'm not all that concerned about that. Hey, a law debate success this time. And we've got a whistle-stop tour here. So, the Party of Peaceful Renovation, huh? Who's opposed to this? So, the Petite Bourgeoisie and the Intelligentsia like it. We've got Petite Bourgeoisie and Industrialists here. Industrialists dislike it. So, the Party of Peaceful Renovation is awkward for us. It doesn't really matter, I don't think. I think it's okay, either way. But it is definitely awkward. How is that going, anyway? Oh, the Party of Peaceful Renovation is already at only 12.5% of the vote in the polls. Yeah, the Octoberist Party is going to win. So that seems good. The Petite Bourgeoisie is trying to preserve child labor allowed. Okay. I was under the impression that they are approving of it. They are endorsing it. Or they're endorsing child labor allowed. I read this wrong. Restricted child labor is what they're opposed to. Right. All makes sense. So the election is in, the Octoberist Party wins, and we have a free government reform. So we definitely want to stay where we're at, actually. We've already got the Octoberist Party in power, and that puts us at a legitimate government 75. If we were to cut taxes, we could get up into this next tier, which would be very interesting. No doubt about that. Well, for the moment, we're still pushing on through here. Let's take a quick look at how this is looking at this time. So they're at 51, make that 47 war support. Okay. And they've suffered more casualties than we have, even though we've been broadly on the offense. I love it. That's really, really good. Absolutely phenomenal. How's that skyscraper going? We've got 40 weeks left on it, and 11 weeks on our power plants. Now, keep in mind, as soon as we're through these motor industries, we're going to fly through these barracks. Absolutely. There's a lot of them there, but they do not take long to build. So that'll be okay. We're going to be probably continuing to delay them as we have additional economic woes, which will probably happen. Yeah, we can definitely see we could use some additional coal production, some additional glass production, definitely motors, and, I mean, we are working on that. I think additional glass production is not a bad idea. Low infrastructure in Ingria. Okay, that's noted. I'm going to take this all the way up to the economy of scale cap. This may be a little too much, but we're going to do that. And of course, we're going to need to get ourselves some infrastructure in Ingria. So we're going to need at least one. I'm going to build 2 railways in Ingria. However, I want to move this up, and I want to move any of these motor industries that we've already started on. Okay, so we'll do something along the lines of this, although I want these to be at the top. Cool. That'll work. So this is a lot of glassworks, right? No doubt about that. And we'll see what ends up happening with restricted child labor. Our war is going very well against the Sikh Empire, which we would expect. What are we at? We're at 73. Oh, is this a unified front now? This is a unified front. So yeah, this is pretty free, to be honest. They are going to be exiting this war fairly soon, but we don't occupy their capital yet, so they can't drop down below 0 war support as of yet. They'll get there. We're continuing to push in, and this is not going well for them. However, what is going well is our economy. We're up to minus 95 now, but we were at minus 80k for a bit there, and our economy is definitely growing here. So that is wonderful. And also, restricted child labor passed to consideration. I missed that. I'm not sure when that happened, but clearly a little bit ago. So that's absolutely fine. And our motor industries here are finishing up. Not all of them, of course. We have a few more down here. But our motor industries are indeed finishing up, and we're working on our railways and our glassworks. So that'll be fine. That will just give time for our market to adjust. That electricity shortage in the Yukon Territory exists, and this is almost exclusively due to all of our people here being employed in the gold fields and in the gold mines. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. No doubt about it. We need more people in the Yukon Territory. Out of curiosity, the migration attraction is high. We've got 9k people moving in annually, and an additional 2k pop growth. Okay. That's reasonably fine, and the standard of living is very high there due to all the gold, so that makes sense. Absolutely fine. We should be seeing that continue to expand nicely. So the Sikh Empire is going to drop below 0 war support soon. I believe that this is their capital state. Yes, that's their capital state. We're going to be taking that over quite soon. We attacked the mountains first, which is an interesting strategy. I don't necessarily think that that was great, but whatever. Our law debate did fail on the restricted child labor this time, which is sad. That's definitely sad. I would like to be bumping up our literacy further. No doubt about that. Going up to here on the education institutions would be phenomenal. The Octoberist Party winning that last election is not necessarily ideal for reforms, but we can get some things going on that front anyway. So we're absolutely demolishing the Sikh Empire's military at this point. There's no problem here. And keep in mind, these are our weaker armies, or were our weaker armies. Well, yeah, they still are our weaker armies, so that's absolutely fine. We have this 9th Russian army, and where is this? Why do you exist? I'm gonna get rid of it. I don't think it should exist. Okay. Prussia sided with Great Britain in a diplomatic play against the French Commune. And so did the US. What is going on here? They are infamous currently with 43. Okay. And what is this diplomatic play? The French Commune is attacking Britain, with the goal being banning slavery in the British Raj and conquering a bunch of British Raj territories. Oh my. Why did you declare this, France? Why would you think you could do this? Like, Britain is 11,631 right now. Sure, or actually France is 11,631. Britain is 15,144. Plus, we have to keep in mind this is declaring on the British Raj, who is 9,000. Plus, Prussia joined in, who is 12,000. Plus, the US joined in, who is 17,000. What are you thinking, France? Why would you do this? I have no idea what they're doing. France is going to get wrecked. There's no doubt about that. Oil has been discovered in Ob, and that is all great. We're currently working on researching arc welding, and we'll have 8 years left on that. It's going to be a slow one. No doubt about that. But getting that done will be a relatively important thing. And then after that, we're going to be working on plastics for our glassworks. We have so much oil available to us that we are delighted to swap over to oil. No doubt about that. So this battle is victorious for us, and we'll have them fully occupied very, very shortly here. Okay, so we have an active battle ongoing here. This one will probably fully occupy them, would be my guess. Looks good. Great Britain is embargoing the French. I mean, I don't blame them. Wow, we just progressed to ascent on a 5% chance. That's kind of insane. Okay, we'll take it. So this battle is going to wrap up shortly, and that means that the Sikh Empire will fall under our control. Now, Sindh is currently cooperative towards us, and I would like to take over both of these areas. No doubt about that. Our current infamy is still reputable, down to 15.2. So that seems reasonably fine. We want to retain that reputable status if we can. Okay, that is full occupation. So, wonderful. They are now actually accepting of this, and we're going to propose this peace deal. Cool. So the Sikh Empire is now our protectorate. They immediately shift over to loyal. We're going to improve relations with them, though. That is absolutely something that we're going to want to do. So that is getting us additional power here. No doubt about that. How powerful are they, anyway? Not very right now. We just finished crushing their army, so I guess that's not shocking. We're making money at this moment, and we have finished up constructing a skyscraper. A magnificent achievement. Beautiful. We're currently number 4 in the world, and we're sacking our prestige right now. So that is definitely noted. How are we doing on that prestige? Okay, so we're actually below China and British Raj in the prestige, but they are both unrecognized and a minor power because British Raj is a vassal state. So I guess that's not super shocking. We are still below France, the United States, and Great Britain, but we're making good progress. No doubt about that. Checking in on these situations, market access in Ingria is currently a little bit low, and I want to take a look here. We did finish up those 2 railways. Are we going to need more railways? Well, this is definitely still expanding up, and I think it's probably going to be fine-ish, but I'm going to queue up one more. This is a lot of glassworks that we have here. No doubt about that. So let's get that going. That'll be fine. And I would like to think about who we want to attack next. And it kind of goes to Jaisalmer or Sindh. 7 infamy. Ah, and these guys are a puppet of Belgium. Okay, so what's going on with Belgium? They're in Britain's customs union. Britain, of course, is going to be busy here in a moment. In fact, they're already busy. We might want to grab this now. Honestly, I don't think Belgium can do anything about this. It would be 4.7 infamy. 30% chance that they just accept it. We shouldn't consider that they're going to, but let's just demand transfer subject. Belgium refused the demands, and that's not shocking. That's not shocking at all. I'm going to mobilize this army. And... wait, is there no front here? Hang on. Why is there no front here? They just want to ban slavery in Persia. If we need to back down, we can. We see that Britain and Austria are leaning towards Belgium here. So if we need to back down, we absolutely can. I'm just concerned that there's not a front here. We should have a front through the Sikh Empire. I would have expected. So I'm wondering, why can't we go anywhere? There definitely should be a front here, I feel like. Great Britain did side with Belgium. So, okay. That's interesting. They are busy right now. So we might be able to leverage this into something. We definitely might be able to leverage this into something. Okay, so what would we be interested in? Well, we probably wouldn't be able to get British war reps. But what about conquering these states? Or liberate country? That would be granting independence to another nation. Specifically, what I'd like to do is grant these to Persia. But we might have to conquer the state and then transfer it over. So that would be specifically Sistan and Kerman. So Sistan and Kerman would be 25-ish infamy overall, which is a lot of infamy. We'll want to wait until this is close to wrapping up. No doubt about that. We hit a stall here, and children aren't coming back, so they better get used to it. Okay. So we're probably going to have to mobilize additional forces, but we can kick Britain out of here. Britain, of course, is going to be busy fighting France. So they've got that they need to think about. No doubt about that. So as far as these war goals end up going, we need to figure out what we want to do here. So banning slavery in Persia and Kalat, we don't actually care about that. If we end up losing this war, that would absolutely be fine. Not ideal, but it would be fine. So we're just letting our escalation continue until it is maximized. And we're seeing a lot of vassal states moving troops in here. So this looks good. As far as attacking here goes, I really feel like there should be a front right here. I would have expected that with the Sikh Empire being under our control. The fact that there isn't is concerning. No doubt about it. But we might, well, we can't do a naval invasion of Belgium. But we are going to have war support against Britain going down. So we might be able to pull something off after we get Britain out of this war. We'll see what happens. It's going to be spicy. I think that's very clear. So the question is, how much is Britain actually sending here versus how much are they leveraging against France, right? That's the question. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. It'll be very, very interesting. However, like I said, I'd be interested in taking these away from Great Britain. This will put us slightly over 25, but that's fine. We're not going to go over 50. So for the moment, I think it's okay. If Austria doesn't join. If Austria were to join, problems would ensue. But we'll need to wait a couple of days here. 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. Okay, now is when we add war goals against Great Britain. So we want to conquer the states of Sistan and Kerman, is the idea. So these will be relatively expensive, and that will, of course, pause escalation and give the AI time to respond, but not as much time. So next I want to do Conquer Kerman. So that's going to put us up into infamous here, 42.9. So that is spicy, but we're going to do this. And hopefully no one else will join. It looks like no one's leaning, so that's good. That's a very good sign. 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I don't want to sway anybody, I don't think. I mean, the Ottoman Empire, I don't feel like that's worth it. Okay. So we do see some British forces moving in, or actually most of these are Belgian forces. Noted. I'm going to mobilize these guys, and we're going to send them over to this front, now that we actually see forces coming in. And there will be a little bit of time for them to mobilize up, but no one else is going to join this. As far as actually fighting out over here goes, That's going to be interesting. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to play out yet. So we do see more forces trickling in over here. Okay. The war is going to break out in 5 days. 3 days, 2 days, 1 day, and the war is breaking out now. So these guys are not actually at the front. They're traveling off over here. That's why this is only at 24 right now. But we are seeing positive gains here. So we're losing this attack, but that's our vassal doing it. That's Britain there. This is Britain defending. Okay. These guys are just not at the front. We can always mobilize and send more. They are sending a lot of troops into this and kind of ignoring France. Okay. So that's noted. I'm going to mobilize 2 additional armies, and we're going to send them down. We can always mobilize more. And I don't think Britain plus Belgium, I don't think that they can mobilize enough here. How strong is Belgium? Yeah, 4,000. I don't think that they can mobilize enough to fight us and France, is the thing. So this will be fine. We are arriving at the front here. This is a lot of troops that Britain has decided to send in. No doubt about that. So we might want to mobilize everybody. This is, of course, very important to us to win this. So kicking Britain out of this area would not be a bad thing. So we'll mobilize all forces at this time. And we'll just send them right on down. More legislative failures here, huh? We get a setback and we can reset that to a 5% success chance. That's okay. So we're sending a lot of additional forces down here. This is getting expensive, but we have some gold reserves. That'll be relatively fine. Britain is sending more and more forces in all the time, of course, but Britain is also fighting France, and France is losing that, but Britain has decided it seems to focus on our war. Again, if we lose this war, this isn't the worst thing. We just banned slavery in 2 of our subject nations. So that is something that we can absolutely take. We don't mind that. But we are moving a lot of forces over to this front, and that should be reasonably fine. We're not going to try to contest Britain in the seas, obviously. But we're going to... Oh, wow, Britain is seeing a lot of casualties from this. Okay, that seems good then. We're very happy that Britain is seeing lots of casualties from this. As far as attacking Belgium goes, we're not in a position to do it right now. That's for sure. This is at the Western Afghanistan Kerman front? Okay. I'm wondering how strong the Belgian fleet is. I definitely anticipated having a front here. No doubt about that. That was absolutely 100% anticipated. But we are winning this at this moment. Even though it doesn't really look it here, look at these numbers. These numbers are insane compared to ours. Absolutely, those are insane. Britain has already lost like 150,000. So that's looking absolutely fine. I'm not concerned about that at this time. Yes, this is currently... Oh, that's very flashy. This is currently minus advantage here right now. Absolutely. But honestly, just looking at these numbers here, this is okay. We don't mind this. We are seeing absolute overperformance at this moment. So that seems good. Our training is up, right? Yes, our training is currently up. We hit another stall here. We'll cut through at least some of the red tape here. Sure, that'll be fine. Hello, pause menu. And what I wanted to do is come down here and check our manpower numbers. Okay, noted. So that is reasonably okay. As far as pushing into Great Britain goes, are these guys... Oh, this force definitely needs to be... These are all gentry assembly? Gross. This force definitely needs some leadership, and I'm going to... Actually, we're good there. What else do we need leadership on? Okay, we will get this guy promoted, and promoted again. This one's good, this one's good, this one's good, and this one shouldn't exist. Similarly to before. I'm going to get rid of it. Cool. So now that we have a little bit of leadership over there, that will help matters. Cool. And we can see that we're actually catching up in the war support now, just due to the sheer amount of casualties that they're facing. Britain is now to 200,000 casualties, which is insane. They absolutely cannot keep this up. And we actually are kind of being sustainable here. Kinda. I think that we're being far more sustainable than Britain at this time. So taking a look at Britain's power level, 16,876. Yeah, sure. I mean, we're at 15,510. But we also need to keep in mind we have all of these vassal nations out over here. And only Britain actually joined in on this. So this is only Belgium and Britain. And this seems absolutely fine. So if we were to press these war goals, absolutely they wouldn't take it right now. But I'm okay with this. Britain cannot keep this up. Greece wants a defensive pact, which I'm going to decline. But that seems reasonably okay. Now, we are attacking here, or we're set to attack, and Britain might have just switched over to a defensive footing. There are a bunch of active battles going on right now. So we can see, oh, up to 127k? No? No, this is absolutely fine. They're seeing huge numbers due to attrition. So are we, to be fair. But Britain really can't keep this up. They really, really can't. They've lost 300,000 now. This is kind of insane. No doubt about it. We want Britain to exit this war as soon as possible, and war support is currently even across the board. Now, currently, we can drop below 0, it would seem, and they cannot. Can Britain? Well, no, because we haven't occupied any of these areas. We'll work on that, but we are not currently at that point. Now, I want to take a look here. Transportation shortages, noted, but we don't have small arms or artillery shortages. That's a good sign. That's a very good sign, in fact. So Britain's war support is down to 57 at this moment. That seems good. And they're going to continue to drop here due to just crazy amount of casualties. They've lost half their army at this point. I want to be clear about that. They have lost half of their army, according to this. 347 casualties compared to 760k. And their side has lost 80% of battles. Yet we haven't actually occupied anything here. So there is that. Which is slightly sad. But Britain is taking crazy numbers here. And we hit another stall here, and unfortunately, that means that child labor is still allowed. We have not been able to limit that. That is very sad, no doubt about that. But honestly, we're performing so well in this war. This is nuts. Now, it is time to put a cut in here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, I mean, they're at 400,000. They're at 400,000. They are expanding their army up. I think they're conscripting at this point. And we're not. We're just like, you know what? This is fine. We are starting to work on our barracks now. Very slightly, but we are starting to do that. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we're hopefully going to break the British lines. Once we break through here and weaken the British enough, this is going to be huge. This is going to be absolutely huge. The question is, when are we going to be able to do that? You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kintogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.